Hello and welcome to Dees20Stitches. I'm Dee. My pronouns are they, them. I'm a queer and trans cross-stitcher, designer, and educator. And I am your friend, maybe? Welcome back. It's been a hot 30 days, a month since I last recorded. I usually just record a month every month, but this month has been busy because I am a teacher, so I am back to school in September. But I had a lot going on this month, so I wanted to catch you up before we get into October, which is like a week away. I look at my wrist as if I have a watch. I don't. Anyways, so today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you what cross-stitch projects I've been working on. I'll also show you I've got a big load of Stitchy kindness and a little bit of haul. And of course, in every video, I do a little bit of education because I am an educator, specifically gender inclusivity and trans rights education just at the end. And then we'll do a giveaway. This is how my videos go. Sit tight because folks, I got a ride for you. Also, I'm not wearing any socks and it's very cold down here, so we're gonna get going. Let's start. Usually, here's my book of days. Usually, I have it organized by like all my finishes and all my whips. It's been a lot, so I'm just gonna go in order of what I've stitched. So let's get started. This is kind of a oh good. I thought I was fuzzy. This is kind of a finish. Depends on what your loose definition of finishing is. This is in my Alexis bag that my friend Alexis made. This is Raven's Needle Book by Lindy Stitches. This is, I got the full kit. It's now in Lindy Stitches has a book out. It's like Goth Birds. That's in there, so if you're looking for it. I finished one half of the needle book. So I'm going to call it a page finish. Did I show this to you last time? I don't remember. The birds are sparkly. I stitched them in A12. This is just the 28 count that came with the kit. Linen. Shiny things, the birds are shiny. Yeah, I finished this the day that page, it's not really a page, it's all one pattern, but you know, one half of the needle book. I count that as a finish. Then I have to do the other half. I finished it like the day I filmed our last Flosstube. So here's my DMC threads. Again, it's all the call for except for, oh, no, it's not. I'm being silly. The word, I added this blue because the words are supposed to be done in black and the crows are done in A12. So I added some stuff to it. There you go. I would like to finish this. I'm going to bring this out in October because I have some plans. I'd like to finish this because secrets. Kari, my buddy who does cross-stitch designs with me, Uncanny Kari, you'll probably know her. And I have a plan to hopefully release a December needle book like design. So I have to learn how to do one first. So in October, that's my job. My job is to learn how to put together a needle book, and so I'm stitching one first to kind of figure it out. So that was one project that I worked on, a finish, if you will. Next one. Do you count half a needle book as a finish? Because technically I could just frame that or make a little pillow out of it and it's done, right? It's the little victories. Speaking of little victories, look at, I cleaned back here. You can't really see, but I have a bunch of stuff that people sent me. This is my wall of happiness. Okay, second project. This was still when I was feeling very summery and there were flowers out. Prairie Schooler, where there are bees. Oh, this copy is well loved. Oh, don't look at that. This copy is well loved. Okay, let me pop this out of the hoopy for you. Why do I still have this in the hoop? This is on 25 count something, antique white. To a small, oopsie. It's small. Oh no, I lost, oh, a disaster. I almost lost the back of my needle minder. I'm gonna move that. Okay, it's small. Oop. Tiny. Teeny weeny weeny. Teeny weeny. This is almost done, but guess what? I stopped stitching it when I got a little cold out because the bees are gone. So that's the end down at the bottom. So I've got one more motif here and then this bottom section. This is one of my oldest whips. So I need it out of my life. So I can stitch another bee pattern. I have upstairs, we have I told this story, I think, a powder room. Powder rooms are just like a room with a toilet in it. I think it's the like waspy way to say, we got a toilet in here. A powder room, gotta powder my nose. No, I gotta take a poop. It's just, you know, a room with a sink and a toilet upstairs. And I did it, it's in black and white and I have lots of little yellow pieces to it. And so I have lots of bee stuff in there. I've got some old vintage like biology books with bee stuff and wasps. And I made what's the thing you call when you break a plate and you piece the plate back together? A plate art. Starts with an M. Don't remember. My brain's mush right now. Also, I hope you enjoy my husky voice. I don't know why this is happening. Anyway, bee room upstairs. I want to put this in it, and then there's just so many other little bee things I want to stitch. Here's the flosses called for. Just like nice muted. Ooh, you could see my little my look. I've been back for a month almost of school, and when you're wearing a mask, we're still wearing masks. When you're wearing a mask for 9 hours out of your day, 8 hours out of your day, you're gonna get some pumples. So that was Prairie Schooler. That's gonna be put away until the bees come back, basically. Okay, speaking of putting, oh my goodness, look how thick this is. This is a thick project. I actually ordered a new project bag from the sewingshop.ca, Kaylee, because this project is so big and it does not fit into my biggest project bag, so I need a new project bag. This is Quiltify Stitch Along. Oh gosh. I'm sorry for this. Yeah, I just stuffed it in there. I'm so sorry for people who had a conniption. This is the Quiltify Stitch Along, where the designer gave us a pattern per month every year. So there's 12 patterns. You got to pick and choose. It was really neat, but it is huge. This is absolutely incredibly large. And I don't think I need all of this fabric, but I just haven't cut it yet because I want to make sure I get to the bottom and we're doing okay. I took this out, started out in July, because Alexis had her birthday and she asked people to start 4 things on her birthday because she is a extra queen. I was going to say size queen. Start queen. That was rude of me. I apologize. She is a start queen. You gotta do some starts for her to honor her. I didn't have it in me to start 4 things. I don't have 4 things to start. So instead, I stitched 4 crowns. So let me show you the breadth and width of the situation. So that's that. This is, oh, we're still going. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. So not only did I work on this for Alexis's birthday, I also worked on it for Sampler September. And basically, I started at G and just started making crowns. And boy, there's a lot of letters in the alphabet. I feel every single one. This is 18 count linen. Nope, 36 count linen over 2. And here's the problem with this. For whatever reason, this fabric, and I think it's maybe the 18 count, I'm using 2 threads, so it's like thick, right, on it. It's like poofy. I have a hard time, and I'm using like a size 28 needle because that's all I use. I'm having a hard time getting the needle through the puffiness of like the fabric, because when you put the needle in next to thread, you know, it's sometimes hard to get in there, even with a size 28 needle. So stitching this like constantly every night, I got like divots in my thumb and my forefinger because it's me grabbing and kind of using my thumb or finger to kind of guide the needle back into the hole. I hope a couple of you laughed because I sure did. To guide it in. And so the tension on the needle pushing it into the hole is causing my fingers some trauma. Look, I've been doing some hard fingering. It hurts my fingies. I'm not made to. It's fun, love it, but I'm not made to do it. So after all of these crowns, my poor fingers are just fingered out. I've had to put tape, like washi tape on my fingers to try to help. But it's just, compared to, and I'll show you, I have a long dog sampler and it's on 28 count linen and the holes are wide open, baby. The 28 size needle, just pop it right in. No fingering trouble. This is someone's first video of me and I assume this reflects poorly, but this is who I am. Fingering jokes, hole jokes, sexual. Anyway, it's my goal. So I got, okay, let's do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, QRST. I'm on T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. 6. I have 6 more crowns to do this. I can probably pop out like 2 a night. But my fingies hurt. My fingies. I would like to finish the top just so I know how much I can cut off, because this thing is just so big. And then I want to start, oh, I rolled on the fabric. I want to start working on the sides so I can know when I can, again, because I don't need all this. I do not, absolutely do not. So if you have any, like, I don't know, I don't want to use a thimble because I'd have to put a thimble on these 3 fingers. And I like to feel where the needle is. I like to feel the needle coming in and out of the holes. I hope Betsy Klager isn't watching this or she's going to have a conniption laughing. She's going to fall off her chair. Someone check on her. There we go. Look, I'm folding it. What a nice boy I am. Not stuffing it in. I cannot wait till I get my new Kaylee stitching shop bag because she needs help. And by she, I mean this. This needs help. I can't even. There we are. So that is going to be, I'm going to probably be bringing it to lunch. My lunchtime, I have usually 20 minutes to stitch. I lock my door and the kids can't come in. And I stitch for 20 minutes. And that way, if it's 20 minutes worth of stitching, my fingers probably will be okay. Okay. What else? Oh, I have another kind of finish. I have a page finish. And this is, oh, my feet are so cold, y'all. This is Jane Hopkins. Okay, I figured it out. I love organic shapes on samplers. And what I mean by organic is like these leaves are organic. And then this step up here is more geometric. It's not, we're not, there we are. Like that's more of a geometric flower. These are real deal organic stuff. I love organic sampler stitching. I have a bunch of samplers that I want to do, and they all have the same, like, real organic feel to it, the organic shapes and forms of it. So this one, when I saw, I was like, oh, so good. I am going to make a change. Instead of Jane Hopkins, I'm going to stitch Trans is Beautiful, because it is. Let me show you the, wow. I'm stitching it with DMC because I don't have money for anything else. Love it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely love it. Okay, I have a page finish. I was able to finish a page. This is on 40 count light mocha Zweigart. There she is. There's my page finish. So you got all those nice satin stitches. There we are. Look at that. And we got a little bit, we've got a one kind of geometric planter, which I have messed up. Doesn't matter. And we got some organic leaves. And that little crow, what's he doing here? I don't know. So I'm going to call that a page finish so I can get finishes in. My goal is with my big projects with like multiple pages, I would love a page a year done. Except for the Quiltify one. Boy, one page is a lot. Is a lot. So I'm going to, yeah, one page, hopefully one page. So this, I think she's going to be done for the rest of the year. I'll take her out next year. Maybe we'll see. I have so much other stuff. Put the pattern in the bag, Dee, or you're gonna be screwed. Okay, and the last project, and my my love. This is the oldest project I have. Of course, it's in my stitching shop Kaylee bag. Sorry, I'm popular. This is Reatham by Long Dog Sampler. There she is. This is the very first big project I took on. This is also the very first project that I did on linen, and it is huge. I think it's like 4 pages. I'm on page 3. My goal for Sampler September is to finish page 3. It's on white on 38 count blue linen, just like probably as white art. The holes, it's so nice. Okay, I had a moment where like I was even going to do Quiltify, the big one, on like teeny tiny, like 25 count. But going back to this big ass project, I love the big X's. I love how easy the needle glides through the holes. So maybe I'm coming back around. Maybe big ass projects, maybe they should be big. Maybe I should do them on 28 count. Okay, so I'll show you the whole thing, but I want to show you where I'm. So I went all the way down just to make sure I had enough space, because this was Dee from January 2020, just starting a project without really calculating, probably very well, how well it will fit. But look, they did pretty good. That's the bottom. So I've got like 3 inches. So this right here, this is kind of the page. So like right above the rabbit and all the way to the bottom. So I finished these 2 motifs. I just finished the cornucopia, and I went all the way down to the S to the bunny. And so I would like to finish that by September for my samplers, my big like sampler September finish. I would like to get, again, a page done per year. So that's, 2020, 2021, 2022, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I'll be done this 2027. 27. So that's, so I'm calculating 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. There's 5 more years. So I will be I'll be 41. Blink. It's okay. Okay, let's see it. There's the money shot. Oh, there we are. There she all is. So I did start like doing the dogs across just to make sure. I'll probably do this page next and then this page just to make sure. There you are. The white of the floss is gross up here and very nice down here, because I do have icky fingies. All this finger talk. I do have gross fingers. Eat and drink tea, and that's part of the charm. It smells a little like ketchup. Have you ever sniffed your big ass projects? Have you ever sniffed your BAPs? Sniff them. What do they smell like? You a dirty stitcher? Smell like Cheetos and, I don't know, popcorn. Mine smells like barbecue sauce. And I don't know, like, I'm sure I can just pop this with some Dawn soap, but the fact that it's white gives me a little, you know. I had dreams of washing this, and then the blue runs off on the white, and then it's kind of weird looking, and then I try to bleach it. Why would I bleach it? In my dream I did, and it turned into an abstract piece of art. That's my sampler September. So I have a week left of September. A week left of September. So my sampler September goal is I want to finish St. Reatham. I would like to finish all the crowns on the top of the Quiltify Sal, so I have the whole length. That's what I would like to do. I also have to prepare for our last couple of releases for Kari and I. I got some of that stitching to do. There is a couple things I cannot show you because one of them, one of them is with Kari. We have our Halloween release coming up. Very excited because what we're releasing is bigger than what I had first planned. So Kari did this wonderful piece of art, and usually with Halloween, like we did last year with the hexes, we have a medium and then a couple smalls. And this time, again, we did a medium and a couple smalls. And then I asked Jessie from Mislaid Pages, because Jessie has some amazing hand-dyed fabric and they're bright and vibrant. And I asked Jessie to create the background of this piece of art on fabric so you do not have to stitch the background. So the plan is, and I wish I can't show you, it's a surprise. Sign up for a newsletter. You will have first peek very soon. Newsletter is down below. And I'll show you the colors and everything. But anyway, so there's going to be a giant packet of patterns. So one will have the pattern and the full background that you can stitch. One will have the pattern and no background. So if you would like, you could get Jessie's fabric and stitch it on Jessie's fabric. And Kari did the stitching on Jessie's fabric. It blew my mind how good it looked. Especially, I'm not a fabric dyer, but I sent Jessie a picture, and Jessie literally recreated the background of the picture on the fabric in black and yellow, like, and then, so you get that, and then you get 3 smalls, all in one. So let me I'm so excited about it because I spent most of my August stitching it. And if you are on my Instagram, you saw little pieces of it. I'll just show you the colors. Maybe to give you a little bit of a hint. Oh, sorry, I burped. We got that. We got this nice blue. A little bit of white. This one. And yellow. Now, I made a mistake because I charted the yellow in 604 and I just grabbed, I don't know what I did. I'm like, okay, this yellow is bright enough. It turns out to be 444. So I stitched my pattern in 444. Kari stitched all the other stuff in 604. So I'm going to ask Kari which one she likes best, and that's where I'll change my pattern to. And we'll do a little photo manipulation of the pictures to change the... I'm glad you're watching my video because I can tell you all the weird designer things that I do. Anyway, this is the palette, and the feel is... so the pattern is based on Italian thriller. They're called Giallo? I'm just a Giallo. and everywhere I go. Giallo. It's just yellow in Italian. And it's the posters of these Italian thrillers, these old like 70s and 60s Italian thrillers are amazing. The imagery is amazing. There's a lot of eyeballs and scorpions and knives and blood. So that's what Kari based her art off of. It also, if you're a true crime person, or like thriller, like a thriller horror slasher film person, these patterns you will absolutely love. So watch for those very, very soon. We're hoping October 1st. So put your name in the newsletter thing so you get the first dibs. Hopes is Jessie will also have fabric available for the patterns, so you don't have to stitch the background. Also Hopes will be selling our like paper copies of our patterns with Jessie. Jessie already has, I sent them copies of Lesbian Pride Tapestry and Sailor's Delight. So that's on the website right now, I assume. You could buy those paper copies. You can have them. You can physically have them. You can own them. You can do like me and put them in your bag and crumple them up. And it helps us and it helps Jessie, a small business, small queer business, like no brainer. Speaking of Jessie, this is something I absolutely cannot show you. This is in this bag, in this vintage owl lady bag, which I love. I'll just show you what's inside because I butterflies. I don't have a bird bag, so I guess butterflies are like the birds of the insect world. In here is the 2023 February box pattern that Kari and I are doing for Jessie's February aviary box. I think I talked about it before. It's already, I think the sale's done, but you'll be getting those soon. Also, speaking of boxes, if you bought a Haunted America box from Fangirl Fibers, Emily has told me that she's printed out all of our patterns and they're going in boxes and they're getting sent off soon. So in October, I cannot wait for you all to see the piece that Kari and I did for Emily and Fangirl Fibers. I'm so proud of it. And Emily texted me and said, I can't believe I'm printing off this and there's a little demon, there's a scary thing in the pattern, and little demon boy doll face. She did not like it. I do not like it. And she had to print off like 70 of them. He's scary. The little guy in the pattern, he's spooky. I cannot wait till people start opening those. And in October, I will be able to share you the model that I stitched for it. So stoked. I'm so stoked. I'm stoked for that. I'm stoked for our release. That's in October. This is September. Is there anything else? Yeah, of course there is. There's a lot of Stitchy kindness. Let's do it. Oh, I was inundated with Stitchy kindness yet again. What did I do to deserve this? Okay, so a couple days after, I need water. A couple days after I did film the Flosstube, I got a little package in the mail from Illinois, and I did not expect this at all. But I think I was having a really tough day, medical wise. I have chronic health issues, and I think I was having a really tough day. Just my body was not happy that day. But this came in the mail from my friend Nitya. If you don't watch Daybreak Stitchery, Nitya, she does it every month, so it's like one video. You can always catch up. She has hands down my favorite videos because it is her stitching, which is fantastic and colorful and bright and happy. But also, she tells you what she's learned that month. Like all the research. She's a teacher too. She has a teacher brain. All the stuff that she's researched, specifically social justice and that issues. And it's just like every time that I watch her video, I also go on a hunt. And by the way, October 1st, Nitya and Miriam from Marumi Crafts is doing a thing where you donate to the Pakistan flood relief, and then you send Nitya or Miriam, I guess both of them, your receipt, and then you get a pass to go to this super cool Zoom chat and stitch along. I'm trying to clear my calendar for October 1st so I can be there. I want to very much. Trying to move some stuff around. But be there, donate, please. I'll put a link down below so you can get more information. Anyway, so Nitya's great person, fellow teacher. She sent me okay, cute this. I love it. Just a sweet gosh, a sweet note. She also sent, and this is like, so I love these. Yeah, I'm collecting these, some Daybreak Stitchery floss tags, and truly Daybreak Stitchery palettes. Nitya is so good at her palettes because they're never muted. They're always bright and happy. So this is almost like a fall one. And then this I like a lot. Nitya, I might just steal that palette, and make a pattern out of them. So look for those soon. I like these. Happy. And then the thing that this is something she stitched for me. I'm gonna fold it. Says for my bird wall. What? Tears came from me. That someone would take the time and effort to do something like this for me. I just saw. Don't panic. Nitya, look away. But I thought it said Dees20Stitches, because that looks like an N. It's not an N, it's an H. Stitchness. I love it so much. Oh. And, okay, this is how you know Nitya was, like, did something and was so caring and kind. Because usually she puts, I have the sticker. Picture this plus 40 count Newcastle. Count Dapper? Dap? I don't know. Usually, if you watch her videos, she puts her, it gives me a heart attack every time she puts her pattern so close to the edge because she wants to save fabric, of course. Why wouldn't you? Especially fabric is so expensive and hard to get sometimes. But look at this! Growth. And also so nice because I can probably use, what I will do is wear it because I love it so much. I'll cut this. I'm going to put it on my wall of stuff that people have given me because I love it so much. So it can be in my Flosstube videos out always. And then I'll probably use the fabric for something else. Stitch something for someone else. Oh, just so nice. Just so nice. I've never been in a community as nice as this one. And I've been in a lot of art communities, performer communities. And never before have I had so much generosity come upon me. It's overwhelming. So thank you, Nitya. Okay, speaking of generosity, again, something else that tears. You might know Jasmine Custom Bags. Jen. I'm giving her a look. Do I have her? She wrote me a nice note. I don't know where it went. She made this bag for me. And then Jen. If you don't have a Jasmine custom bag, what are you waiting for? And this is not because she sent me one, is I bought one for myself, and actually a custom bag for my mom too. Her bags are just so hardy because this is like a leather. The zippers are like heavy duty. Zippers like, and I got my trans sailor boy anchor. What am I gonna put in this? It's gotta be something really special. Thank you so much. I'm Dee. I'm your Stitch Dad. That's me! The trans agenda is here, folks. And then, oh, is this the thank you? Yeah, I think this is the thank you. Yeah. Thank you. No. Thank you. You don't need to thank me. I ain't doing nothing. Okay. Oh my gosh. And then, speaking of trans, one of my trans buddies, Sebastian, Dees20 Stitching. I remember. Okay. I'm like, why did he send me all this stuff? So, very, very kind. I have so much on my lap. He was finishing this, and he finished this pattern. I said I like it because I have some plans. And he's like, I can just send it to you. Bro, don't even worry. I'm like, what? So he finished this very quickly. I thought, frankly, I just expected I'll see it eventually. But Sebastian was very devoted to finishing this. Finished it, passed it on to me, even left some threads. And also, it looks like a bunch of stuff from, oh gosh. Oh no. He went to StitchCon. Oh gosh. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. And so Sebastian sent me a bunch of stuff that he got at StitchCon. First of all, this like Axl Rose Guns N' Roses. Heck yeah. Needle minder. Love him. Love it. Very, very cool. Very me. I'm going to be using that for him. I got a bunch of different fabric. Some linen. This one's so pretty. It's very, very Kari. Kari, we're going to design something on this. Most definitely. Do I know what kind of fabric it is? Absolutely not, but it's 28 count. Sebastian, is this yours? Start? Or did it just come like this? This is probably, again, 28 count. And then he sent me like a bunch of people's, from StitchCon, a bunch of people's floss tags. And here's the thing, I don't know a lot of these people. But they look fun. I mean, the floss, I don't have to know these people. The floss tags are great. Look at this. This is a dog. Wow. I don't know this person, but Angela, hello. You're my new friend. This one makes me a lot happy. This makes me very, very happy. Again, I don't know these people. I don't know. They look fun. They look like they look like two people I would go out, I just drink a lot of margaritas with. Someone tell them. Come to Vancouver, I'll take you out for margaritas. Yeah, just really nice, beautiful. I always need floss tags, and they're very nice to look at. Thank you very much, Sebastian. I also got, dang, a whole bunch of Stitch Me. Silk! Sebastian, sometimes he has a project, a long dog sampler, and he has a bunch, like a whole hank of silk, and he goes, oh, every time. It cracks me up. This looks like, I was going to say it looks like flesh, but is that weird for me to say? It looks like flesh. Flesh. And then also a little cutesy thing when you go to a retreat and you can put all your flosses on there. So nice! So nice! I want to go to a retreat so bad. I'm still kind of wary about COVID stuff, but I will tell you, the big reveal, I will be going to Stitch North. The lovely ladies, Carolyn, found me a table that I can sell Kari and my patterns and all our good stuff. So I'm going to be there selling for a Saturday and Sunday. If you ask me which week it is, because I know there's week 1, week 2, it's the one in April, because that's my spring break. The end of April. If both of them are in April, I do not know. So I will be seeing some of you. I will have a big table. My partner and I will be doing our vacation in Ontario in the spring. Probably do some Montreal too. And then we'll come over and do some sell my wares. So I get to use, I won't be in the convent, like sitting at a table, because I'm just going to be what is it called? Tabling, I guess, like selling stuff. But I'll be able to use like this. I'll stitch there while I'm waiting for people to buy my stuff. Anyway, that's not going to be like a stitch retreat, like a good example of a stitch retreat for me, because I'll be kind of separated. But I'm sure I'll be next to like buddies. I'm sure my two lovely ladies at Brit and Nita will be there. Hopefully, maybe beside me, because I'll be a scared. I'll be a scared little bean by myself. Okay. By the way, speaking of Sebastian, Kim and I have decided we're going to start just a little tiny cute little sal. I'm going to start this October 1st, and my plan is to just stitch the crow, and I'll show you what fabric I'm going to put on it. Oh my gosh. This is one of my boxes. I'll probably put it on this. This is hand-dyed green 18 count. It's like electric Slimer green. And I'll probably put the crow on it. I have a friend who basically their goal in life is to have a gang of crows follow them wherever they go. So I'm going to stitch this for them. And instead of October 31st, I'm going to put something like crows love me, men fear me. Something like that. I'm going to make that for them. And then Sebastian is also going to have a start with a crow. So we are going to October 1st, and anytime in October, if you stitch something with a crow or a raven on it, you can hashtag that Crowtober Sal. Crowtober Sal. I was very proud of myself for thinking of that one. Crowtober! So you can stitch birds in February for Februaviary. You can stitch birds in November for Flip D the bird sal, my birthday sal. And now you can stitch burbs. Just more bird excuse. Crowtober. So we're going to be starting that on Instagram. I'm going to start October 1st. I don't know when Sebastian's going to start. He's his own man. But if you have a crow, if you stitch a black bird, could be a crow, could be a raven, It's Crowtober. So that's going to be my start. Anything else? Yes. Just one other little haul. This is Fiberlicious. I lilac you a lot. And it's very neat. It's like a grungy purple with kind of a greenish tinge to it. It's kind of like, it would be good for a Halloween. Oh, there's the greenish tinge. Can you kind of see that? It's grungy. Again, in Canada, we have a hard time getting fabric, especially like highly colored fabric. And since Fire Poppy is closed down, that was usually my quick fix when I needed something to design on. So this stuff. If any fabric sellers want to just send me samples up to Canada so I can stitch and design on your fabrics, that would be great, because I don't have a lot of money. Okay, that's it. Wow. I'm going to do our education piece first, and then I'm going to do my snail mail club, where I give away something for someone who is a subscriber and left a comment in the last video and has signed up on my snail mail club. Link is down below. Today, my education piece is going to be based on a question that I had asked to me a couple times last month. And I don't know if there was like an article on the New York Times or something, but also my partner asked this to me one night, and a couple other people in my email messaged me or whatever. And the question was, why are there so many more trans and non-binary people out there today? Or why are there so many other non-binary people? I think there was a census in the United States, and the number of Generation Z, I'm Canadian, I say Z, Zoomers, they're called Zoomers, it's very good, that identify as queer has gone up, and the number of Zoomers who identify as genders that they are different from the ones that they were assigned on birth has gone up. So I think there was like a weird panic in our society, like, why are so many people trans? What's in the water? Is it soy? You know, weird Fox News stuff. Soy is making our kids trans or something. And this is the whole like weird thing about coming up, where calling trans people like the groomers because you're making our kids trans, that sort of stuff. I'm not going to be talking about that. That's too negative and weird. But I'm going to answer the question about, hey, I'm looking around us. There's so many non-binary people. And even like even I saw it happen during the pandemic. A lot of people experimenting with gender just on my like social media timeline. I saw theys getting creeped into pronouns, like people adding theys to pronouns to kind of just feel it out. And it's weird because I don't want to get into the like weird non-binary thing, insular trans, like there's a weird thing inside the trans community about that. Don't want to get into that. That's just for our community. But what I do want to answer the question is like, why are there so many non-binary people? What's going on? Is it bad? So before I start talking about this, the first thing I want to tell you, and this is something that you're just going to have to trust me on, and if you disagree with this statement, then this education piece is probably not for you. Or if you're like, wow, that blew my mind, I don't agree with that, then maybe it's doing your own research and before continuing on with this piece. So the big statement is, gender is a social construct. In order to understand what else I'm going to talk about, you have to first establish that gender is a social construct. It's not what's between your legs. That's not gender. Gender is a social construct. And if you don't believe me, and I'll put it down below, The World Health Organization literally says gender refers to the characteristics of women, men, girls, and boys that are socially constructed. This includes norms, behaviors, and roles associated with being a woman, a man, a girl, or a boy, as well as relationships with each other. As a social construct, gender varies from society to society and can change over time. They say it beautifully. They say it beautifully. What a man, a woman is, what a girl or boy is, number one, has changed over time, has changed culturally, is different between different cultures, and is a construct. It's not what is physically on your body. It is not what your chromosomes say. It is a social construct. And more, I think people who discover that gender is a social construct and that a lot of times gender as a social construct is harmful. The idea, this kind of Victorian idea that women were made to have babies and stay at home and clean, and men were made to make babies and then go out and work, that's a gender social construct, right? Those gender roles, the spheres of like influence and of, I forget the word, sphere of, I'll have to look it up. This is social construct. These are social constructs, and specifically these are social constructs made by white supremacy. It ruins the fucking it ruins the world. Pops up again. So the idea of what a woman should do or should look like is socially constructed. And on the flip side, the social construct of what a man should do and look like is socially constructed. And if you go to different countries and different cultures, that changes. And if you go back 1,000 years, it changes even more. So this is kind of like a galaxy brain moment for some people. Well, am I a woman because people just have put this assumption on me? Am I a man because people have put this assumption on me? And the harmful thing about labels, gender labels, is when you're labeled a gender, you also get all this extra baggage, right? If you're labeled a woman, then you get the assumption that you're going to have babies, right? That's a social construct, right? The amount of people, if you're born with a uterus, I'm sure you've been a person, someone's asked you, if you don't have kids, someone's asked you, when are you going to have kids? If you're in your 20s and 30s, or even like, when are you going to get married? Like, these are social constructs. So being non-binary is the idea where you're like, no, thank you. No labels for me. I'm beyond labels. I do not fit in these two boxes that the world has created. One box says woman on it, one box says man. No, thank you. I don't want those labels on me. I don't want those expectations on me. It's very freeing. And I think in the last, like, even during the pandemic, but in the last 20 years, the feeling of being free of those labels is really nice. And this is not to say being a woman is worse or being a man is worse. Like, people find comfort in those labels. In fact, like, to tell you the truth, I've actually stepped away from labeling myself as non-binary because I do feel comfort in the masculine box sometimes, a lot of times. So because I feel comfort in one of those boxes, but it's not the box that I was first put in, I am moving away from that label of non-binary. But non-binary people are like, no, thank you. And you can do that. With gender, you can just say no, thank you. Now, you can say no, thank you, like, thank you, but unfortunately the world might still see you put you in that box, right? Depends on how you look like. And that's the struggle. That's absolutely the struggle. So, because the words and the knowledge are out there. More people have been aware that they do not need to label themselves as a binary gender. And it's just like trans people, like the ability or the knowledge that like, I don't need to be the gender I was assigned at birth. There's other options out there. It's very freeing. I usually compare this to the increase, you'll see the chart of like the increase of people who were left-handed. There was a bump. And there was a bump because in long time in our education system, in our very white Anglo education system, people who were left-handed were taught to use their right hand in school in kindergarten. And so you didn't see a lot of left-handed people because they were taught out of it. And I will say, even me, growing up, I don't remember this, but I have a lot of physio, and we've done a lot of testing, and a lot of physios have said, hey, it seems like your brain works in a different way. They believe I was started out life as left-handed and I got switched to right-handed. I cannot confirm or deny that, but because I don't remember. But a lot of people have that. And then suddenly, when the education system says, nah, it's not a big deal that people are left-handed, it's not really a problem. There's more left-handed people. When people got the ability to, their brain said, you are left-handed, and then they could exist as a left-handed person, there was more left-handed people. And that's the same thing with being gay or queer. Like, we've always had gay and lesbian and queer people in our society, always, from the beginning. But number one, it wasn't socially acceptable. Number two, it was punishable. So not a lot of gay people came out. And then when there was a social shift and you had people fighting for visibility, people suddenly were like, oh, well, I can be out. I can be gay. I can love who I want. Oh, this is great. More gay people appeared suddenly. But they were always there. Same with trans and non-binary people. For the longest, again, we've had trans people since the beginning. We've had trans people since the beginning. And it was not socially acceptable in a lot of white Anglo cultures. And so it was hidden. It was below the surface. We hid ourselves. And then as the language of what we could define ourselves and our gender started coming up, there's like, oh, I can be who my brain says I am. This is great. And so you see more and more trans and non-binary people. So for example, and I've told this story before, as a high schooler, I knew gender-wise, I was different. I did not feel comfortable being labeled with the label I was given. And I did everything. I cut my hair short. I found comfort in the masculine. I cut my hair short. I shopped exclusive. Sorry. The Beatles interrupted me. I cut my hair short. I shopped exclusively in the boys section because that clothing made me feel good. It felt good to wear cargo pants, and it felt good to be seen as a boy. And I will never forget, I had the first person I talked to I moved schools, and my first class was a biology class, and I had the first girl I talked to, her name was Laura. I'll never forget this. She was the first person to be friendly with me. And then when we graduated, we went through 3 years together. When we graduated, she goes, I didn't want to tell you because I thought we'd be embarrassed, but I thought you were a boy when you walked in the room and started talking to me. And back then I was like, this kind of was a moment of like, I wasn't embarrassed. It was like ecstasy. Like someone saw me as a boy. It felt good. And I didn't know what that was. I did not know what that was. But now I know. Now I have the language of like, oh yeah, it felt good because I'm trans. I liked when the world labeled me with another label. It feels good. And again, it's not because I think being a woman is bad. Absolutely not. It's just my brain inside of me, that label does not feel right. So my phone, I apologize. How can I help? You can shut the darn up. Here we go. So, the reason why we have so many trans and non-binary people is because we've always had that amount. But now the language is out. It's not a secret anymore that you can just take off these labels. And if the label you were given, if that doesn't make you feel good, you can change it. People always ask, how do I know if I'm non-binary? Or I don't feel non-binary enough, or I don't feel trans enough. Here's the thing. Cis people, people who are not trans, don't worry about labels. Don't worry about their gender. Don't think about it constantly. If you're a person who thinks about your gender and your gender that you were assigned makes you feel uncomfortable, you can just be non-binary or trans. You can just, it's not like you put your gender under a pillow and Gonzalo Great comes and changes your gender. It's like, you can just say it. That's how it works. And there's no such thing as not being non-binary enough or not being genderqueer enough or not being trans enough, because guess what? Like, it's all about labels. If you don't want to be in the box, you don't have to be in the box. It's very freeing. And people get upset about it because, especially some people are upset about it because, especially when you're a person who were assigned like female at birth or woman, being a woman, people thought you were a woman, and then you say, no, thank you, I don't want to be a woman. And they say, well, why don't you want to be a woman? Like, or being a woman can mean a lot of things. Yeah, absolutely. Being a woman can mean a lot of things. You can be a woman and not have kids. You can be a woman and shirk and take away the expectations that people have placed on you. That's fine. But if you're still okay with people labeling you a woman, you have to understand that there's some people who aren't okay with that label. And the difference between you and them are, if you have a F on your driver's license, it's okay with you. But if they have an F on their driver's license, it makes them feel bad. It doesn't make it, it's not right. It doesn't feel right. Right? I guess that, I hope that makes sense. Oh, I'm so fuzzy. There you are. I hope that makes sense. Here's the thing. The thing I just did, I get paid to do workshops like this. So if you are a person who listened to that and want to argue with me, you don't have to do that. If you'd like to argue with me, I'm a professional. I actually charge one-on-one counseling by the hour. I charge $250 because that's my professional rate. So if you'd like to argue with me and pay that, then that's fine. I will have that conversation and I will teach you. But down in the YouTube comments isn't a place to argue, because guess what? I exist and you can't tell me otherwise. Again, if you learned something today or it made you think, you can send me a Ko-fi. This is part of my job. I have a Ko-fi link, buy me a coffee down below. And I will put extra resources down below about how gender is a construct. You don't need to label yourself if you don't want to. All right. I hope that was okay. Sometimes I get a blur. Okay. So, what's next? At the end of every video, I do a snail mail club. Snail mail club is when I go to my last video and I use a YouTube comment picker and I pick a comment, and I make sure they are a subscriber, and B, that they are 18 plus, and C, that they have signed up on my snail mail link, and I will send them something from my bag of snail mail stuff, which is on that body. What will I send this time? Let me look. Oh, let me. What do I got in my bag? Oh, this is what I'll send. Easy peasy. Some paper copies. Old paper copies of the hexes. Let's send those. I did my YouTube comment picker. And the person who won is Christie's Corner Needlework. I'm way behind on Flosstubes, but congrats on your finishes, and I can't wait to get the cursed anchor when it comes my way. Have a wonderful week. Thank you, Christy. I'm also behind on my Flosstubes. I'm literally a month behind. So I've been commenting on people's like a month ago. Also, Cursed Anchor, in case you haven't seen, it's still going. It's down the East Coast. It's headed, I think, to South Carolina next, and then on to Florida. It's on the East Coast now. It's getting good. It's getting real good. If you want to check it out, you can always look at my stories. They pop up. I think if you're still on the list, don't worry. It's going to come to you. We still have a lot of bad floss. So what it did is it went from me to Portland and then to my friend Natty. And then it went from it started at the very northernmost part of the East Coast of America, and it's slowly making its way down to Florida. And I think what I'm having it do is it's going to go to Europe then, and then it's going to go, I think, to Canada, and then it's going to finish off in the middle of the United States and then back up the West Coast. So that's the order in which, that's the mind order in which I have it go. If you want to sign up still, you can definitely do that. My signups are still open, but you got to find the Flosstube where I explain it, because anyway, okay, I'm done. I will see y'all in October, where I'll have a bunch of new releases. I'm really excited about that. Again, if you want news about my new releases and Kari's new releases, we have a newsletter. You can sign up down below. And I think that's it. Yeah. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that. And I have this new shirt, so I think this is going to be my new sign-off. And it's especially good because I just did a whole speech about how gender is a social construct. Guess what? Be yourself anyway. No matter what anyone tells you. Be yourself anyway. Okay, I'm your Stitch Dad. I love you very much. I'm very proud of you. Bye!